All right. Happy holidays rolling out. This is your host, Crystal Jordan, and it's Reality Check. We're back on a Friday with a very special guest. She is a beauty queen. She is actually one of the hottest new artists out right now, and she is also a real housewife of Potomac. I'm so excited to have tonight's guest here because I've been hoping to talk to her all season long, but what better time when she has a single blazing up the charts and a new Christmas song that I believe drops this Friday. Please help me welcome the very beautiful Candiace Dillard.
Hey, hello. Hi, Crystal. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Well, first of all, congratulations on everything. Like I said, your single is doing great. You just released a Christmas single, which I think is very smart.
Thank you. Heartbreak on Christmas is out right now. Yes.
And you've got the Christmas backdrop going in the background there. So beautiful.
Yeah. Christmas is my favorite time of year. I literally look forward to this time of year every year. My birthday is in December. Christmas. I love the Thanksgiving holiday. I love cooking with my family. I love entertaining. I have a big ugly sweater party every year that we haven't been able to have because of COVID, but we're doing a lot of COVID provisions to be able to have it this year. So it made sense for me to do a Christmas. I wanted to do a Christmas album. Okay. I wanted to give you guys like a whole smorgasbord of stuff to take in, but there wasn't time. You have to really start doing Christmas music in the summer to get it out by the holidays. And we just didn't have time to get it done. So I had to, just squeeze out one song. But next year I'm going to give you guys a full Christmas smorgasbord of Christmas for you guys to listen to.
Christmas. Yes.
Next
year. We'll definitely be looking out for that. Well, I want to play, I have a snippet from the single and I want to talk about that. In addition to all this music and great stuff we just saw, I think what is the best Potomac reunion. And I think it was Nicki Minaj was just divine. And I thought you were a star because
thank you.
I love the fact that it felt like I was so tense. I was like, oh my God, is she going to sing? Is she going to sing? And not only did she sing, but she slayed it. You killed it.
Thank you.
Perfect. So what I want to do now, before we get into the conversation, I'm going to play, let's do the Christmas snippet first. And I want you to tell me about, because this is not the Christmas song that I was expecting. I was like, oh, that's a different take on Christmas. So let's play it, and then let's talk about the single.
No matter how hard it was, all we did was best for us on Christmas. And I'll say it more than once, the only gift I ever wanted was you. Now I'm sitting fireside, trying hard not to cry. You're on my mind, can't make my spirits bright. Now I'm stuck in my feelings, making what you're saying, need to forget him. Nah, don't want to, but I'm willing. Back to the season before we gave each other greetings. You can't help who you love, but I'm not taking homes on this holiday. Oh, what am I doing? Going back and forth, no options. Who am I fooling? Yeah, put your arms around me tighter. Nothing wrong with heartbreak.
Candiace, it's a sad Christmas song.
I know, heartbreak on Christmas. Yes. But you know what is so funny? A lot of some of the best Christmas songs, the songs that I love the most, have a kind of melancholy tone to them because Christmas is for me, it's always been a really positive, happy, joyful time. But for a lot of people, the holidays is not a happy time. It reminds them of, family that they've lost, family that they don't have anymore, or, I can relate to this. A lot of times it brings you around family that you don't always want to be around.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, it can start some extra mess. It can be a stressful time. So I felt like I love Heartbreak on Christmas because the lyrics are a little bit more melancholy, but the music, and shout out to my producer Hazel and my engineer for really like doing a great job of mixing those two together. The joyfulness of the track with kind of the melancholy of the song that was written by myself and Nairi Davidson. So I feel like we did a good job of like giving you the best of both worlds in that.
Yeah, I agree, because it sounds like a Christmas R&B record. Like, yeah, I wouldn't even have noticed that it was. I saw the title and I was like, okay. And then when I listened to it, I was like, oh no, it's sad. But the melodies don't sound sad. You have a beautiful voice, and I think that sometimes when people, have a great voice, they can sing something that is sad, but it sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
So, and I do, and I think you're right. There are a lot of people that struggle with the holidays if they've lost someone, or like the song says, if you had a breakup. It's a difficult time of year. So that is something I think we have to be aware of.
Yes, for sure. And it has an inspirational uptick to it as well, because yes, I'm talking about Heartbreak on Christmas, but I'm also saying the line is, you can keep this heartbreak on Christmas. Like, I don't want that. Okay. I don't want no heartbreak from your behind. So you take that heartbreak on Christmas and you go, take it up the mountain with you. And I'm saying that, yes, it is heartbreaking, but I'm looking to find the positivity. So we're
talking about the positive things. And I guess when you heal, you can look back and enjoy the moment without reliving that. So definitely you guys have to check out Heartbreak on Christmas, because I think I love Christmas music, period. It's just like the entire holiday season. It's like from Mariah Carey, who is the goddess to me of
the
Christmas.
Queen of Christmas. Yes, I'm obsessed with all Mariah Carey Christmas songs. All Mariah Carey songs, but Christmas for sure.
Yeah, that's like my favorite. But yes, you've slid on into the playlist, and we like it. So congratulations on that. What was your Thanksgiving like? Because we know that we're just seeing the ending of the season and this reunion, but obviously you guys taped this a while ago. So tell us about your Thanksgiving holiday. How was that?
It was fun. So like I said, this time of year is one of my most favorite times because I get to pull out all of my decorations, and I'm really big on having Thanksgiving decor and then transitioning into Christmas decor. Okay. So I always feel like I get FOMO because I'll start to see Christmas decorations up and I'm like, wait, I still have pumpkins in my house.
Right.
So
we're not there yet.
Yes, we're not quite there yet. So I decorated. My mom was here. My brother actually came up, and he's not been to our new home yet. So it was nice to have him come and see the new house. So my sister is here. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we typically are hosting just because Chris and I, my husband and I, we love to entertain. We have a huge dining room with a huge dining room table. Our new home is just made for entertaining. So I love having people over. So we had, I think, 8 people that came and sat with us at the table and had dinner. Nice. Traditionally, my mom and I cook almost everything, and Chris will just do the turkey. Okay. Although, pro tip, for a few years, we did the Popeyes Thanksgiving turkey. You're welcome.
The Cajun. No, I knew. I discovered that actually Chili, a client, Chili from TLC, put me onto the Popeyes turkey.
Oh my gosh.
And I have been on it ever since. But yes.
It's amazing. If you just don't feel like doing the turkey, or you don't want to, or you just want to give someone a great gift, that Popeyes turkey is thebomb.com. It's juicy, it's tender, it comes pre-cooked. They didn't pay me to say this. That turkey is good. So we would do that turkey. But in the last 2 years, Chris has wanted to fry a turkey. So he fried a turkey. And he also made his really, really delicious bread pudding recipe that he does with like an amaretto, liqueur and some other delicious wizardry.
Sounds very chef-like.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And so good. So he did
Yeah.
those things. And then my mom and I did everything else. So I did the collard greens. I did, Chris did the macaroni and cheese. He did a lobster macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
I did collard greens. My mom did potato salad. She did, I think, a cornbread. We did a whole table of, yes, the whole spread was there. And we cooked and we ate and we drank and we sat around and I put up my tree. The tree was the whole drama because we had the tree in the foyer at first and I didn't like it there. So we had to take it apart and put it back together. And it's a flocked tree. So it's got the white powder. So the powder was everywhere. It was in my hair. It was on my clothes. Chris was like yelling at me. It was a mess, but we got the tree up. I'm doing, I think, 3 more trees. So that's what we spent the holiday doing. It's just getting the Christmas stuff together, enjoying each other. And, you know, the show kind of shows you, it just gives you like a snapshot into my life. So I got a lot of questions from people asking, how were Chris and your mom?
Yeah, you know, again, kudos to the queen, Nicki Minaj, because she did a great job of really, to me, it's like it was someone that was a fan that was able to kind of speak for the viewer. So obviously she did bring up the relationship with Chris and your mom seems so toxic on the show. Did you have a chance to talk to your mom after she saw that? Or had you already talked to her about what that conversation was like prior?
I try not to. I actually don't like talking about the show with my family, or my friends. Really, you know, it's obviously I will talk to you guys about it because it's interesting and it's entertaining for you guys. But when I'm home and I'm like, decompressing, the show is a lot. It's work. And it's my real life, but it's my life, in the confines of a workspace.
Right.
So when I'm home with my family and friends, they kind of understand like, oh, we're not going to talk about the show. Unless it's like something crazy like Nicki Minaj hosting the reunion. Like, of course, we're going to talk about that. We talked about that at length. But so no, I don't really talk to my mom about the show at length. I didn't prepare her for the segment with Nicki, and I probably should have because she had a lot of thoughts about it. But I've learned that I can't control anyone else's opinions. I'm only responsible for me and the way that I think and the way that I feel.
Yeah.
Even Nicki had her opinions, and they were pretty strong and powerful opinions about the way that the show played out with my mom and Chris and that whole controversy. I think for me, though, it's about keeping the peace in my family. And that's the most important thing, more so than what happens on the show. So they have talked. It's a work in progress for sure. That's what I can say. It's a
where do you think the issue is though? Do you think that your mom would be this way with any guy in your life? Or do you think there's something specifically about Chris that she just does not gel with? Because I can't really tell if she's just super, some mothers, no one's going to be good enough for their daughter.
Right. Yes.
And it does, you do seem to kind of have that relationship with your mom that she's, especially when we first met you, you seem to like, okay, she's puts her daughter on a pedestal and that's, just how it's going to be. But it could be that we're not seeing something else and there's something that she's just, we're not getting an objective picture. So do you think that it's Chris, or do you think that that's just, it would be a process with anyone that you were with and your mom?
Well, for one, I will say that, on a show like Potomac Housewives, that is an incredible platform in and of itself, there are 7 housewives and, and there are roughly 43 to 46 minutes in an episode. There are roughly 17 to 20 episodes in a season. You're not going to get a full scope of any of us. We are all sort of subjected to this this sort of monolithic, like 1 or 2 dimensional version of ourselves. And it's entertaining to watch, and it's true to who we are, but it's really just a snapshot of who we are. So you obviously are not seeing all the nuances of any of our relationships, especially between, you know, a mother and a daughter and her son-in-law. So that I will say that. I will also say that Chris was the only man I've ever brought home that she did approve of. I'm a serial monogamist. I've always been in relationships. I've been in long-term relationships. I never really like just dated, you know, a bunch of different guys at one time. I wish I had, but I never really, that just wasn't me. Right. And I would bring guys. I think I brought home like 3 or 4 guys in the span of my life. And she would always say, oh, he's nice, but you know, you should keep dating. And I'd be like, what? Like, that's so rude. But with Chris, that was the first man that she said, I like him. I like.
So Chris. This is good. This is good. This is good.
Yes, but I'll say this. She loves Chris, but my mom also is obsessed with her children.
Yes.
And she has had a hard time adjusting to the level of access that she has to me now that I'm a married woman.
Yes.
We've been married for 3 years now. We did 3 years in August. I said did like we were in jail, but we celebrated 3 years in August.
Yeah.
3 very happy years.
And I would say if you have 3 years on television, that's probably like 9 years in real.
Oh yeah. I can't, how many people I can't tell you have like will DM me or like tweet me and say, you guys are going to be divorced tomorrow. It's like, thank you for the confidence, girl. God bless you.
Block those people. They're not blocked. Because at the end of the day, like that energy, you don't need that.
It's so unnecessary.
I would literally block, because you really have to protect the energy that you digest. Yep. But I wondered that, and that was the next question I was going to ask you, because I think there's like this process. I know you're in your early 30s, so there's a process of like, yes, you become a woman, you know, at a certain age, but really becoming a woman to your mom is a different process than becoming a legal aged woman.
Right.
So being able to really interact with your mother as a grown woman takes a process of standing up and saying, okay, with respect, you know, always being respectful. Right. It's still like this transition that can be uncomfortable depending on.
Very much so.
Yeah. So I wonder, is that a part of that? Because really your relationship with your mom is the focal point of everything. Like your husband or eventually your babies will all kind of rest on that relationship. So where do you think you are in that transition of your mom really seeing you as a grown ass woman and not as her baby, which she probably always will see you as, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if she will ever see me as, you know, anything other than like her, you know, her 10 or 12-year-old daughter. Yeah. I think my dad and I have, because my dad also kind of struggled with accepting that I'm grown now, you know, I can't always answer the phone when you call because I'm busy, I'm working, I'm in school, whatever. And I think we've gotten to that place because now we talk and he'll say, you know, I understand when you can't talk. I know you're busy and you have a life and you have a husband now and all that. Yeah. My mom is that's another ball of wax. She's very second. I mean, she's an older Black woman. We know how our mamas and our grandmamas are. You guys who are watching, you all have your own, dynamics with your Black mamas and your Black grandmamas and aunties. Yeah. Who helped raise you and think they're your mama. I have all of that dynamic going on. Mm-hmm. So I don't know that she ever will see me. Yeah. You know,
well, you're in transition. We're in the transition.
We'll say that we are transitioning in Jesus' name to a place where she will begin to see me as a true independent grown woman.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
For the record, for those who still are stuck on this, she does not pay any of my bills. So
yes, because that does help. That does help.
It does. Yes.
A mother.
Well, you would think that it helps, but
well, it takes time. But I think it does. Eventually, it's kind of like, ugh. So we but I think, like you said, there are a lot of people that can relate to that, especially in families where the children are very protected, which is a good thing, that they are sheltered and there's a lot of love. But on the other side of that, it's like, you gotta let me do my thing.
Let me go, girl. Yes.
Yeah, let me just kind of do my own thing.
Yes, I'm still here. I'm still, I'm still always going to be your daughter. But
yeah. Well, it's a challenge. We are getting a chance to watch that, and I'm sure other people are realizing that and probably being helped by that example, just seeing it sometimes.
Yes.
That reunion, there were so many moments, and your facial expressions are hilarious.
I was laughing at my own facial. Like, when you're in the moment, you don't realize everything that you're reacting to, right? Because you're in it. So when you watch it back, it's like, what? I was really looking crazy in that moment. Yes.
Well, it was some crazy. I'm just going to say, and you don't have to say, when she asked Giselle, does she think her beauty was fading? Your face. A whole meme. Like, yes.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah.
Okay.
She went there.
What points what pieces stood out to you? Like, what were you I know you had to be shocked that she asked that. I think the entire Bravo metaverse was shocked that Nikki would think to ask that, which was hilarious. But what other points of the reunion were you like, oh my God? Because we saw your face doing that. Like, I mean, it was hilarious. But what stands out to you? Like, what are those favorite points for you when you were like, I can't believe she went there?
The entire time I've said to everyone that I just can't believe that she was there, first of all, and that she was so well versed on our show. She knew about the most minute nuances that, like, the biggest super fans weren't aware of. Like, you could tell that she was really invested in the show and was a viewer and a fan from season 1 to the present. I definitely felt, not bad, but I was just kind of clutching my pearls when she was talking to Ashley. Because it was like, awesome. She was like just going at her. She was really going at her.
Because of I literally was like, wow, Candiace is taking up for Ashley. Maybe Nikki coming is going to help them.
To help them in the friendship. No, you know what? It's like when you've got like your group of friends or like your family, your sisters, and it's like, I can talk crap about them, but you can't. Like, you're not a part of this group. So I think I feel some of that for the girls. But it was also like, you didn't see, she was there for almost 2 hours, a little over 2 hours, and it had to be whittled down to 46 minutes. So she was really hammering in on Ashley like that for a minute. So when I interrupted, it was kind of like, okay, like, let me see if I can help paint this picture for you. Because yes, Ashley did come down. She lugged her breast milk down to be messy, as I said and as Nikki said. But it was also like, okay, but she had to work. Like, if she wasn't in the episode, she wasn't going to get paid. She has to work. And, I felt bad because it's like, you did give birth like 2 weeks into filming, which is a challenge I can't even fathom. Like, to do this job with a brand new baby, with your hormones everywhere, and another baby, and a toddler at home, and a husband. So like, it was. I could not. I will have to plan my pregnancy around filming, and so that I do not give birth at the beginning of filming because I can't do it.
You don't want the first 2 weeks out. Well, is it because that was a good moment for me, like I said, because I feel like both of you guys are like beauty pageant girls and beautiful girl, like, and both, have young marriages. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that you all are at such odds, and especially, over a situation that wasn't necessarily the two of you all. It was someone else involved. Is there hope for you and Ashley to be in a better place?
I say there's always hope.
Okay, good.
Yeah, there's always hope. There are very few things in life that I say there's no hope. I always say never. I don't believe in absolutes with many things. So there's always hope. I think, we enjoy bickering. Mm-hmm. And it has boded well for us in the reality TV world. But there's also, I think, a mutual respect between us.
You're worthy of moments. I never feel really bad for either one of, like, some people will say something about someone else and you'll be like, I feel bad for her. I feel like you all are equally, it's not like picking on someone. It's picking on someone that's the same as you. Like I said, both of you guys are beautiful, come from the same type of beauty pageant to an extent, both in marriages. So I do hope that we see you all in a different space, but it is funny because you both give it back. Neither one of you guys are shy or going to bite your tongue, which is hilarious. That brings me to Mia, because I want to ask you this, the interaction between the two of you all with the lettuce and all that happened this season.
The lettuce.
Do you regret, when you watch back, do you regret at all the knee-jerk reactions that you sometimes have to things when you watch it back?
No, I don't. And I say that only because everyone knows that I come in peace and that I want friendship and harmony and happiness for everyone. And there's this culture that has taken over that says, oh, well, Candiace is going to pop off if we mess with her, if we insult her or, make fun of her or start something with her. We know she's going to respond. So I'm bored. Production said I need to do more. So let me go mess with Candiace. And now that you mess with me and I have responded, now it's, oh, how dare you say that about me? Well, I came in peace. I came into this room. Hey guys, how you doing? Let's do a toast. Let's do some shots. And you took it upon yourself to make disparaging comments about me in some way. Yeah. And now you must suffer the consequences. That's it. Now, do I wish with Mia that I would have not given her the opportunity to have a moment on my back? Yes, I do regret.
You mean the clip about your mother and then it turning into... No.
I don't regret that. No.
Okay.
I regret when we were in the Eastern Shore. I wish that I had left our argument upstairs.
Okay.
When we came downstairs, she was still talking to Ashley with me standing there as if I wasn't there. And I walked over to her and said, I'm standing right here. What do you need to say to me? And I could have just left that alone because if you watch the episode, you see her after I throw the piece of lettuce across the room. She stood there and thought about, what can I do right here? Go back and watch it. She was looking at that lettuce and looking up and looking up. And then she picked it up and threw it. So she thought about, well, how can I make this explosive? And she needs to send me a percentage of her check because
what are your thoughts on Mia, period? I mean, she's very interesting, a little different than the core group. Do you think that she's a good fit, or do you think that she is not a good fit?
I think she's interesting, and I think that she makes great TV. But I don't care.
Yeah, you're gonna be.
I don't care.
Either way.
Yeah. I mean, I would love for her to figure it out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like that's the path that she's taking. It looks like she's not getting it yet.
Well, and it's her first season, so she's got room to grow.
Yeah.
I see there is growth some places.
Again, like I said, I never say never.
Yeah.
Everyone, for me, I give everyone an opportunity to, get it right.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that her life is interesting, and I think that she's, for TV purposes. Now that's separate from real life. Like, do I want to work with her and befriend her?
Hang out outside of,
Do I want to hang out? No. But do I think that she's great for television? Yes.
And she's
very entertaining.
That's big to be able to see that difference. That was my other second. My first moment on the reunion was Giselle's beauty fading. Just priceless. Second was would Mia or Ashley have married their husbands if they had $100 million in the bank? Again, your face. I just like
that was hilarious.
Yeah. Let's talk about music, because we saw you start talking, early on. You talked a little bit about it. This last season, we saw you really chasing your dreams, and they came to fruition. You actually got signed. You've got music out, but you did a lot on your own. We saw, Mia and some of the other ladies throwing a little bit of shade, but like I said, at the reunion, that was your moment, because you not only is the record doing well, but you also sounded great. I was like, why is Candiace using auto-tune when she sounds like this, just on the spur of the moment? Like that's a big deal. I think not that people didn't think you could sing, but there have been other housewives, I'm not going to say any names, from other seasons that have put out music, and we know that they needed auto-tune, right? But you actually sang, and it was beautiful. So tell us about this journey and what we haven't been able to see in these little clips that we see on the show.
Yeah. Well, I've said this before, but I think it's important for those who are not well versed in music and in the music industry, is that auto-tune is really an industry standard. Mm-hmm. Everyone uses auto-tune, from the biggest stars that you could think of. Right. T-Pain has made an entire career out of auto-tune. And when we finally heard him sing without it, it was like, wow, he has this amazing voice. Yeah. But it was a creative choice. Justin Bieber uses auto-tune. Mariah Carey uses auto-tune. Everyone that at some point uses it. It's a matter of how much or how little. And it's not always to make corrections. It's often just a creative choice.
I agree. And I think with T-Pain, that's a good point. But when you say someone like there are certain vocalists that we know, they're good. Like Mariah, I don't care what Mariah puts on her voice. I don't care what she does. It's Mariah. Jennifer, certain people, it's like, I don't care what they do. I don't know what Beyonce does, but I don't care, because I've heard her do that. So for you as a new artist who has the Real Housewife franchise behind you, and we've seen some other things, I'm saying to you, I'm so happy that you did that, because yes, auto-tune it's a creative choice, but you got the pipe. So that separates you and puts you in a, I think is going to make your fans really be excited and bring a lot of new fans, because like she's really a vocalist. So I want to play a snippet, because I think you're naked in this tub, Candiace. I want to see what's going on in this tub. Let's play a snippet of this and talk about the single.
Like what is given, Daddy? Industry telling me that I'm not moving right. They say I'm talking way too much when I go online. When you got me, it was love and not for the lies. When they wouldn't let me live, you fuck with my vibe. Been working on my mind and my body. I'm dripping all this finest chocolate. Watch how I walk it out, look, it's slim thick. A smile to die for, you can't forget. Oh, I know you like what is given, Daddy.
Candiace, we know the voice is real and the body is real because we saw all of it.
Well, yeah. Is it enough, Crystal? Is it enough for you, girl?
It is enough. Candiace, it is enough. I again, congratulations. Now, did you co-write that record?
Yes, I did. Myself and Nairi Davidson. Yes, that was our. And what's funny is that that song almost didn't make it onto the project because Nye didn't think that it would be a good fit at first. And I heard the track and I said, does this belong to anyone? I need this. And it became what I think is going to be one of my bigger singles. It's such a, as Jill Scott said, it's just such a black ass song. Remember that clip where she's talking about something and she's like, it was just so black ass. And and that's what I saw. Like when the song was done and we were listening back to it in the studio, I just saw, and from that line, I'm dripping all this chocolate. Like I saw just like beautiful black women and, highlighting our skin and our melanin and just make us being greasy and sexy and just celebrating everything that is Black girl magic and Black people magic. Right. So it came together. And I love talking about the milk bath scene because we were shooting over 2 days and that scene was supposed to be the last scene of the day on the second day. And we were running behind on the scene before that, which is the braided dress scene. That dress was created by Karen Sabag, an incredible designer. I love her. So we wrapped the braided dress scene and we were out of time in the studio. They were like, you got to go. We got somebody else coming in here. So we had to reconvene at my house. And we did that in the backyard a blow up pool. And it was freezing. And you saw I was naked. I had on like some flesh toned undergarments. And I think I had pasties on my boobies and I'm holding it and it's freezing cold. So they had to keep bringing hot water out. But, the water got cold quickly. So I'm shivering and like trying to be sexy and it was a mess. So I'm amazed that it looks that good because that's one of my favorite scenes.
I would not have gotten that at all. So that is the true, that's that old school artistry. Like, do you want it? Do you really
How bad do you want it? Yeah, right? Yes.
So tell me about the lyrics because I'm listening. I'm like, is Candiace singing to her husband? What's going on? And I love the fact that that's one thing people can't say about you. You're very honest with your feelings. Yes. You don't bite your tongue. So people do say that you do a lot on social and you addressed all of that. So I'm like, what vibe were you in and what were you trying to convey when you sat down to write the record?
Well, so most of my music thus far is either about my husband or F-boys. And that's like a theme on my album, on the Deep Space album, is I kind of go back and talk a lot about some F-boy situations because I had written Situationships, for example, was a song that I had in my phone for years that I had written just based on being in a situation with an F-boy that, really changed me for the better now that it's in hindsight. But at the moment, it's like, you are really like messing with my mind. So I got to write about this. And Is It Enough was one of those songs that was on the flip side was we wrote it to celebrate my love for someone who was more than deserving of me and who I am and loves me for exactly who I am. Drive Back is similar like that. That's like a bittersweet song because it's like, yeah, you get on my nerves, but I'm always going to come back home to you. I'm going to drive back home to you always. Yeah. So I can't ever write without drawing inspiration from either something that I've been through or even my friends, like my girlfriends who've been in like crappy situations, I can pull from their experiences and write about that too.
It does. It feels like a love letter, or ode to your husband. What was it about? I read that you guys met in a restaurant, which makes sense with you all liking to entertain, and we don't get a chance to really see a lot of tender, sweet moments with you all, because that's probably not what would do great on television.
It's boring.
What was it about Chris when you guys first met that made you fall in love with him?
Oh my gosh, because I always say that we were friends first. And to this day, Chris is my friend. And that is what has sustained us and carried us, is the fact that when I'm upset with him as my husband, or when he was my husband or my boyfriend, I could always fall back on the fact that I respect this man and I love him as a friend, because we were that like platonic friends first. I actually kind of curved him a little bit, because he was like kind of flirting with me when we first met. And I was like, skirt, I don't date men who are divorced, and I don't date men who have kids. And you check both of them boxes, so back up. I don't need it. And, I ended up eating those words, because you get to know someone as a person and you fall in love with, who they are beyond just the surface. And Chris makes me laugh. One of my best friends always says that Chris puts you on a pedestal. Yeah. And he does. And he uplifts me. He protects me. You see that sometimes. And we have a lot of like gross, tender, like disgusting, tender moments. Like we're both really sarcastic people, and we don't like to be mushy, but we also are very mushy people. So we love to cuddle, and we love to, we're always touching. Like if we're sitting next to each other, we're either like linking pinkies, or my foot is touching his foot or underneath his leg. Like we're very affectionate. We're a very affectionate couple. And a lot of that does not always come across on the show, because it's more interesting to see us fight, because that's
or to see you do your thing and him try to calm you down.
Right. That's him pick me up and carry me out of a room. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I've enjoyed this conversation. We appreciate you hanging out with us during this is like the mid holiday between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Very, very nice. Again, congratulations on everything. What are you planning for the end of 2021? What's on your agenda, on your goal list to accomplish before the new year?
Well, I have to say, and my best friend said this to me today too. She was like, make sure that you really sit back and appreciate everything that you've accomplished this year. I have a mantra that I've always had since I was competing in my pageant days. And it's a quote by Thoreau that says, go confidently in the direction of your dreams and live the life you've imagined for yourself. And she was like, you're doing that. Like you need to like really realize. So part of what I want to do this year, closing out 2021, is really appreciate what I've accomplished and just be grateful for what I've been able to do and for my team, because my team is amazing. But I'm going to continue promoting Is It Enough? The visual is out now on YouTube and Vivo, so please check that out. Please keep streaming my album, Deep Space. Deep Space is back in the top 10. It was number 6 and it was number 5, and I think it's number 6 again on the iTunes R&B charts. So keep streaming Deep Space. Drive Back's, I think, back on the charts as well. It's in the top. It was in the top 50 last I looked. So just continuing to promote my album. We're starting to talk about tour dates for next year, sometime next year. So we'll start planning that. I've been rehearsing, just trying to keep myself lubricated and loose with performances and ready. Yep, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I believe in that. And just enjoying the end of the year. Like I said, the holiday season is my time. My birthday is this month. So just enjoying everything that I've done so far and preparing for next year, because it's not going to stop. Touring. I have 2 more singles that I'm going to be dropping next year. I have a visual that we've already shot for one of them. We shot in the summer, and I want to shoot another visual for another song that will be a single. But really just enjoying promoting Is It Enough? Do some more live performances.
We
Kelly
keep
Clarkson
hearing
was
this
amazing.
potential for remixes and potentials for
Yeah.
guest
Yep. So
features and things like that.
definitely. So, one of the singles that we'll be releasing early next year, we already have a remix ready to go. So the artist is a gospel artist that everybody knows.
Okay.
They are writing their part to the song as we speak.
Okay.
And should be recording it very soon. So that will be releasing next year as well. And yeah, just, enjoying it and getting ready for award season. I'm going to be on a carpet somewhere
I know that's
in
right.
my
Slayed
black
in
tie
something.
attire. Yes.
Slayed in something.
Yes,
Well,
for
make sure
sure.
that Andre gets me a copy of the single with the feature as soon as it comes out so we can celebrate
Yes.
that. Last question for the night. Candiace, what are you most thankful for? Single thing that you're most thankful for this year?
Oh my gosh. Ugh. I'm grateful for everything. So it's hard to narrow it down. Probably my peace. Peace evades so many of us. It evades me sometimes. And it's the one thing that when in my prayers, in my daily prayers, I thank God for peace and I ask for continued peace. And I think it's something that, especially in this last 2 years and living in this panorama, it's evaded a lot of us.
Yeah.
I'm always praying for peace for myself and for my family and my friends and just the people around me. I'm grateful for my sanity. I'm grateful for, the activity of my limbs and peace of mind.
Yeah.
It's just something that I think we take for granted. And it's, we were all kind of smacked in the face this year and last year with how quickly things can change and how it can really uproot you and make you feel like you're not centered and grounded.
Yeah.
And for me, when you have peace, it's easy to find those things, to find that rootedness and that groundedness. So I'm probably most grateful for that.
That is beautiful. Well, again, thank you so much. We'll definitely be listening and we definitely will be tuning in for the next season of Real Housewives of Potomac. Thank you so much, Candiace Dillard.
Thank you. Thank you,
Happy
Crystal.
holidays.
Thanks, everybody. Happy holidays to you, too.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me. Thoroughly enjoyed that conversation. Make sure that you check out Candiace's entire album. Just download the whole album. Let's make sure that we support her. I thank you all for supporting me right here on Reality Check. I love you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Happy holidays right here from Rolling Out.